OC Sports, presented on Oceanic Time Warner Cable, is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii.
Hawaii in the first game. Hawaii had some service error problems. Let's take a look.
Well, you have Croson has two. There's Sattelli. She launches one long. That's where she kind of tweaked her thigh. There's Croson missing one of hers, and then Hewitt misses one long. She's normally a very steady server. There's Croson missing another one. And then Maeda misses one long. So 5 service errors, unusual for Dave Shoji coach teams.
UH sports are fun and affordable for everyone. Enjoy additional savings by clicking on the fan promotions and ticket discount button at HawaiiAthletics.com. Take advantage of savings on individual game tickets and learn about special promotional activities for UH fans. Hawaii wins the first, 25-17, as you look at Miss Scott. Jordan Scott of Cincinnati.
She did not light it up in game one. She had 0 kills, 1 error in 5 tries. She had negative 200. So she's normally, a plus 300 hitter. So Dave Shoji's defense doing the number on her.
McIntyre serving. Ball is hit over by Sattelli. Sattelli hits it off the block.
I guess Chantil's leg must be all right. Looked pretty good there.
Hartung will go back to serve now for Hawaii. Hartung had 8 kills and ace, and on 3 blocks last night against Pacific. That ball comes over. That's saved by Harpenau. There's Turner. Turner gets it in. Tough angle by Turner. She just placed it inside the line.
And this is one of the keys to this match. I talked about 20 minutes ago is Turner and Harpenau have to hit for positive numbers.
Scott serving. That ball just rolled over the time by Sattelli. And Hawaii leads 2-1 in the second set. Coming in to the game in the back row is Netasinga. Jamie Netasinga for Cincinnati. Serving to Sattelli. Mahoney goes to Turner, pushes it down the line, but there's Sattelli. Put over by Danielson. Good save by Netasinga. Ball comes over by Turner. Hawaii with an advantage here. That ball is hit in. Great play. So Danielson does it again. Danielson has to bring a trunk with her when she comes into the parking lot, because that's where she keeps her repertoire. That ball goes over the cable and down on that serve by Sattelli. Hawaii leading 4-1 in the second set. Sattelli will continue to serve. Pick up by McIntyre. They battle at the net. Good save there by Sattelli. Ball is hit over by Croson, saved by Hewitt. Uiato down the middle comes Danielson. Danielson off of Raffinus.
But Hawaii using that back row attack more and more. Danielson and Croson really seeing the block well and hitting away from the solo blocker.
Sattelli continues to serve. At the net, ball hammered down by Hewitt. Hewitt just overwhelmed Mahoney on a bad pass by McIntyre. Timeout has been called. Hawaii out to a good lead. Second set. Let's go inside the numbers presented by HMSA. 99 career wins as a Rainbow Wahine for Senior All-America. Kanani Danielson, 3-time All-America. Sattelli serving. Hawaii leading 6-1. Second set. Dug up by McIntyre. Mahoney step out move. Raffinus. Raffinus down the line over Maeda.
That's served by Sattelli. Just a little bit too easy. Cincinnati was able to put the ball up to the net. Run a nice little offense. Raffinus good step out move.
Turner serving. Dug up by Croson. Battle at the net. Saved by Hewitt. Uiato to Danielson. That's in the air by Turner. Mahoney. Raffinus gets it across. Good save by Maeda. That ball is hit by Satelli, but Satelli didn't get it over the net. That's a 4-hit violation. And it's now 6-3. Cincinnati has come back to cut the lead in half. Turner to serve for Cincinnati. Danielson, Uiato, Croson. Good diving one-handed dig by Netasinga. But we'll do that again.
Hey, nice dig, nice dig.
What happened was the ball girls were rolling the ball and it hit a chair and inadvertently went on the court in the middle of the rally. So immediately Denise Hansen correctly called a replay.
3 serving 6. Yet another time. Turner serving. Dug up by Croson. Chased down by Uiato. Danielson gets it across. Here's Cincinnati. Harpana. And a net violation on Hawaii. Could be on Hewitt.
Good swing by Harpana that time on the broken play. She did a nice job. Forced Hewitt into the net violation.
Remember, Hawaii was leading 6-1 moments ago. Now it is 6-4. Cincinnati serving. Turner gets it in. Dug up again by Danielson. Croson. That ball dug up by Netasinga in the back row. Outside it goes to Harpana. And Harpana puts it down, and it is now 6-5. So somebody has lit a fuse in Cincinnati. Now they have come from a 6-1 deficit. They trail now by only 1. Danielson again. Uiato. Hewitt. Hewitt able to spin that ball off of Harpana. And Rapinus.
Oh, what good things can happen when you get up a good pass and you can set people like Hewitt on the backside. Really spread out and stretch Cincinnati's block.
7 serving 5. That's out again by Croson. Another service error. Hawaii's lead reduced to the slimmest of margin.
It's 3 by Jane tonight. Very unusual for her. She's usually pretty good about keeping her serve in. She's got that top spin going on. She usually brings it down.
Here's Rapinus. Dug up by Maeda. Uiato. Danielson. That goes off Rapinus. Into the crowd. Let us count the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And a good pass by Maeda to get that whole play started. This game is going to turn out to be an entire serving, passing contest.
Hayden with that step out, and it works again.
Another good pass by McIntyre, which allowed Mahoney to set back to her hammer, Hayden, who just rips the ball on that right side in the step out moves.
7 serving 8. Hartung, that's blocked back. Saved by Maeda. Danielson. Danielson just took that double block looming up in front of her and reduced it to ineffectiveness.
The liberos are in the front row. They cannot use their hands, but they can use their arms and do a little bump set. And Maeda did a nice little back bump set to Danielson. Wow, that was good looking.
Serving is Uiato. Step out again by Hayden. Gets it over, but Hawaii scrambling after it. Nope. Called for a double hit. Hawaii leading by 1, 9-8.
James Shoji said no double. There's 1, 2. Good call.
Harpana serving. Uiato back set. There's Hartung getting it over. That'll be returned by Cincinnati. Scott, block back. Scott trying to handle it, couldn't do it. Hawaii leading by 2.
But Mahoney really trying to get Jordan Scott involved and just struggling. That ball was set a little bit too low for her, and she just cannot contribute offensively right now.
Serving is Danielson. That ball comes over by Turner. Back to a 1-point lead. McIntyre to serve, the libero.
Leads the tournament in digs, by the way. She's averaging almost 5 digs per set. And she's a runaway leader with all the liberos in the tournament in digs per set.
She had 27 digs in that 5-setter against Royce.
It was a monster night for her. It was her career best, actually.
Aida serving. A ball just hammered down by Rafinus.
Rafinus goes up and turns the ball back across her body. She sees Hewitt right in front of her, taking away her straight shot. So she just pulled it back the other side.
Ball hit over by Satelli, pounds it off Turner. Ball goes out. That's a point for Hawaii. Netasinga comes back into the back row, replacing Scott. You look at Scott's face. She is not happy.
Now this time she usually has probably 7 or 8 kills and a couple of blocks. Not so tonight. She's struggling to get any kills at all.
Blake serving. Dump shot. Right there is Maeda. Danielson. Croson gets it across. Here's Mahoney. And hitting that ball is Rafinus. Ball was dug, but it goes out. That's a point for Cincinnati. So Turner will serve. 11 serving 12. That's an ace. Danielson and Maeda getting tangled up. Here's Shoji off the bench again. We are tied at 12. So Cincinnati has made up the stagger. Hawaii starting with a 6-1 lead. That has completely disappeared. And serving is Turner. Back up by Danielson. Uyato. Hewitt gets it over. Here's Rafinus. Dug up by Danielson in the back row, and a double hit is called on Uyato.
Good call. Uyato tried to do too much with that ball. Should have been a little bit more conservative.
So now Hawaii will call a timeout, and for the first time in this second game or second set, they find themselves behind.
We invite you guys to sing along with the Rainbow Countdown. Take a look at the big stage, and please run along and sing the UA fight song.
Find the perfect gift for any occasion at Big Island Candies. Click on BigIslandCandies.com to view their entire collection and place your order today.
Serving is Turner. 13-12. Cincinnati leading second set. That ball comes over by Hewitt. So Hewitt found the open spot on the floor. Ritchie comes back into the front row for Cincinnati, or rather to the back row for Cincinnati. And serving for Hawaii is Croson. That means Danielson now is rotated to the front row for Hawaii. That is an ace by Croson. It's amazing, is it not? Croson hits it long, and all of a sudden puts it in short.
Well, yeah, she missed 3, so that was a very conservative serve, but the Cincinnati did not play for the conservatism. They played for her normal deep serve.
Netasinga to Mahoney. A ball hit back. And again, hitting the ball over is Harpino. Netasinga, Mahoney, step out, Rafinus.
Well, the good news is Hawaii had 2 players going for the ball. So Dave showed you couldn't really yell at anybody. Bad news is neither of them got to it.
Rafinus serving for Cincinnati. Dug up by Croson. Uyato to Danielson. And Danielson hits it off the face that time. Off the face of Hayden, yes.
What you don't want to do is take a shot from Connie Danielson, although that time she took a little bit off it. Wasn't one of her more hard-driven balls.
Well hit over by Harpino into the antenna. And the tape. That's another point for Hawaii. Hawaii leading 16-14.
You know, one of the reasons that the game is so close right now is that finally Reed Sumihara's got all of his players hitting in positive numbers, except for his All-American Jordan Scott. She's the only one hitting negative right now.
Harpino, great block there by Harpino. Cincinnati will put in a substitution. Karen Onuki will come in. Rookie from Troy, Ohio. She comes in for Richie. Serving is Hewitt. And a Singa with the dig. Harpino, great diving dig that time by Croson. They go to Danielson, that's off the block. Hit in the air by Mahoney. McIntyre. Harpino puts it. Blake is there. Ball is over by Danielson. Saved by Mahoney. They battle Harpino, and it is Hartung. Hartung and Harpino in the middle. Hartung wins that. Hawaii all of a sudden out to a 4-point lead, and that happened almost instantly. In fact, it happened when Danielson went from the back row to the front row.
Yeah, and Cincinnati playing some scrappy defense, staying in these rallies, but it just seems that the longer the rally goes, the more advantage there is to Hawaii because they've just got more experienced players and a more experienced center as well. Uiato, even though she's just a sophomore, in my opinion, she's really coming into her own and setting more like a senior, night in and night out. She just keeps getting better and better and better.
So Hawaii, which was a team that was struggling against Cincinnati, went out to a 6-1 lead, lost that. This set was tied at 12. They went back and forth. Cincinnati took the lead at 14-13, tied at 14. And all of a sudden, Hawaii is on a 4-point spurt. And they have the separation that they desire.
Yeah, they won 6 out of the last 7 points, so they're playing pretty tough. The other reason Cincinnati's kind of hanging in there is that they are serving tougher. Reed Tsunohara has told them to get back there and ramp up those miles per hour and try to force Hawaii's passers into passing some balls that are behind the 3-meter line so they cannot get the ball to Brittany Hewitt and Emily Hartung, the 2 middles for Hawaii, who have just been phenomenal this tournament. Last night, each of them, those 2 middles, hit 500 for Hawaii. Well, those are astronomical numbers. If they could hit 500 all year long, those 2 would lead the country in kill percentage.
Nuki in the middle of that back row along with Netasinga. Serving will be Hewitt. When the outtake goes out, Goodman comes in for her. Hartung and Danielson in that front row for Hawaii. Serving is Hewitt. Mahoney goes outside. Harpino, that's blocked back. McIntyre. Harpino again, that's blocked back but out. That's a point for Cincinnati. Credit McIntyre that time.
Yeah, she's really scrappy. I asked Reed Tsunohara, is she a better passer or a better digger? He said she's a better digger, and she's showing why tonight.
Mahoney serving for Cincinnati. There's Danielson off the block. Off McIntyre, saved by Onuki. That ball hit over by Harpino, and it goes out. Point for Hawaii. They lead it 19-15 here in the second set. Hawaii winning the first set 25 to 17. Uiato back in the game, and she will serve. Just gets it over into the net. Saved by Mahoney from her knees. Harpino is blocked back. That's saved by Scott. Her shot goes in. Scott finally connected.
And you get the feeling she said to herself, finally, I got my first kill in 7 tries, and it's the middle or near the end of set number 2. That's a long time for her to go that long without a kill.
The most powerful front line for Cincinnati is draped across the court. Danielson answers back.
Not powerful enough for Kanani.
20-16. But in that Cincinnati front is Scott, also Hayden, also Turner. Danielson serving. Dug up by McIntyre. Mahoney sets up Hayden, and that goes off of Croson, the block. Hayden succeeds again with that step out, and it's 20-17.
She's been almost unstoppable in this tournament. She's the go-to gal when she's in the front row, that's for sure.
McIntyre serving. Croson, that goes off Mahoney. McIntyre is there. Down the middle comes Harpino. That's saved by Danielson in the back row. Uiato goes outside, and the point will be registered for Cincinnati.
Hey, work now!
Is Croson winning the net?
McIntyre serving again, 18 serving 20. Croson overpass. And that ball comes back off Danielson. Big hit by Scott. It's 20-19. Hello, Cincinnati making another run, and they're right back, as we say, right back in the neighborhood.
And Dave showed you taking his last timeout before Cincinnati catches up. He wants to slow down the Bearcat juggernaut. You notice that they're serving Jane Croson. They're trying to work on the freshman and have her take a lot of responsibility. You know, it's not easy to play. Go from high school volleyball to D1 volleyball. And certainly Reed Sunahara knows that better than anybody. And so he's going to try to have his servers focus on Croson as much as possible, make her pass, and make her have to run up and hit. And just have to do a lot of things.
No, I agree with that, but there's another, I think, element in here. What about outdoors to indoor?
That's good. It's a good point. Jane does an awful lot of ball handling because she plays outdoor and she plays indoor, so she's playing year-round. But passing outside on the beach is not quite the same as passing in the gym. They're two different skills, very subtle, but two different skills. And clearly Sunahara wants to see if she can convert from the beach to indoors. Clearly Croson, if she wins the World Championship in the under-19 division, she's got to be a pretty darn good ball handler and shot maker. So, but Sunahara wants to find out. You'll watch. I guarantee you, this next serve is going to go either at her or somewhere in her territory.
McIntyre will serve it. 20 for Hawaii, 19 for Cincinnati. Hawaii went out to a breather, 4-point lead. Now they lead by only one. Waiting for Hawaii to come back on the court. Well, you see hitting percentages for Cincinnati and Hawaii in the first set and in the second set.
Big difference in set number 2 for Cincinnati. They went from 0.75, hitting 7%, to hitting over 300.
Hard time is blocked by Raffinus. We're tied at 20.
I'll tell you, McIntyre tried to serve Croson, but Maeda stepped in and took it. Croson's hugging the sideline right now.
Oyato goes outside to Croson. And Croson is blocked by Scott. 21-20 Cincinnati. Hawaii really, they've got to try to put something together here.
I think that Oyato is going to go to Danielson coming out of the back row right now because her other attackers just aren't getting the job done.
Ball hit over by Satelli. Block back. Satelli. Back set. To Satelli from Oyato. Satelli finally gets that down. 21-21. Serving will be Maeda.
Two-person passing pattern for Cincinnati right now. Harpenow and McIntyre. The only two passing. This should be interesting.
All pushed over by Raffinus. Hawaii with the advantage. Oyato sets up Satelli, and Satelli gets it in. Hawaii takes the lead 22-21.
Well, Shantia lightened up right now, coming through with two crucial kills these last two plays. And with a well-formed block over there.
Maeda to serve. Serves it down the line. Dug up by McIntyre. Mahoney to the middle. Raffinau. That ball goes off Maeda. Point for Cincinnati. We're tied at 22.
Harpenow just did a great job swinging at that ball from about the 12-meter line. So, I'm sorry, about the 4-meter line. It was a great shot.
That ball is served long. So Scott can't get it in. It's 23-22. Hawaii here in the second set. Blake will come in and serve for Hawaii. Hewitt is in the front row. Oyato and Croson. Blake gets it over. McIntyre to Mahoney. Step out. And getting the ball in is Raffinus. Raffinus just overwhelmed Maeda down the line.
She's been pretty steady. Raffinus, 6'2", junior. Middle attacker. She's long, lanky, reaches high, snaps it down the line, can cut it across her body as well.
Serving is Turner. Boy, needs to answer back. And they do. Croson down in front of McIntyre.
It's like Dave showed,
24-23, aloha ball here in the second set.
like Dave showed you wants to get some defense in, so he's putting Alex Griffiths in. And he wants to get, I think, a higher percentage server than Griffiths. Griffiths will probably serve a little baby jump serve, or she'll do a jump float. But clearly he's not going to take a chance with Croson, who's missed 3 times tonight. Doesn't want Croson, I think, as serving on set point.
Onuki comes in to receive for Cincinnati. Ball comes over. Rapping out. Step out again. That ball comes back over. Raffines hits it long. Second set goes to Hawaii, 25-23. Raffines had 2 swings at that. The first one is popped up coming back. The second one, she has a real shot at it, but she pumps it long. Hawaii leads 2 sets to none.